They thought they could humiliate her because of her skins, but one move turned the entire gala upside down. Maya Thompson entered the grand gala with elegance radiating from her every movement, her black gown shimmering under the dazzling chandeliers, and immediately all eyes fell on the black CEO's wife, some with admiration, others with barely concealed prejudice, while Richard Kingsley, the wealthy and arrogant billionaire known for his ruthlessness and silent racism, smirked as he noticed her confidence, thinking he could undermine her in front of the elite crowd. And Ethan Thompson, her husband and a powerful CEO, stood tall beside her, calm but alert, sensing the tension that usually followed them, while Sophia Lane, a kind-hearted guest, watched anxiously, knowing the undercurrents of racism and status games that often played out at such events. And as the champagne flowed and small talk filled the air, Richard stepped forward, his smirk growing as he deliberately pushed Maya toward the pool, causing a gasp to ripple through the attendees. Yet Maya landed gracefully, her poise unbroken, water cascading down her elegant dress, her eyes meeting Richard's with controlled fury, leaving him momentarily speechless as murmurs of shock and admiration spread through the room. And Ethan immediately approached, his presence commanding respect and quiet authority, while Sophia subtly recorded the moment on her phone. Knowing the world needed to see this display of courage and dignity, and the gala attendees, previously judgmental and impressed only by wealth, now whispered among themselves, witnessing how Richard's arrogance had been challenged by the very person he sought to humiliate, leaving the billionaire uncertain, his plan of public embarrassment crumbling in front of influential eyes. As Maya's calm resilience became the unspoken headline of the evening, her strength and elegance overshadowing the prejudice that had fueled the incident, and little did Richard know. His next move regarding the billion-dollar deal would be his greatest miscalculation, leaving viewers of the gala scene eager to see justice unfold. And for the full story, watch the complete video in the related section, and don't forget to comment your thoughts and subscribe for more dramatic stories. Maya Thompson shivered slightly as she stepped out of the pool, her designer gown clinging to her elegant figure, yet her composure remained unbroken, eyes burning with quiet fury as the crowd gasped and whispered, many sneering while others stared in shocked admiration, their judgmental gazes cutting through the humid night air at the gala. Richard Kingsley smirked arrogantly, clearly enjoying the moment, a cruel sense of superiority radiating from him as he adjusted his expensive cufflinks and looked down on Maya, thinking she would crumble under the humiliation. Ethan Thompson immediately moved to his wife's side, his presence commanding and protective, whispering calming words into her ear while glaring at Kingsley, the billionaire's smirk faltering slightly as he realized Ethan's formidable reputation. Maya ignored the whispers and the pitying looks, focusing instead on the simmering anger that ignited her determination. Sophia Lane, standing discreetly near the marble columns, observed everything, her heart aching for Maya yet inspired by her poise. She subtly recorded the scene on her phone, knowing evidence could change public perception. The gala attendees continued to murmur, some impressed by Maya's grace under fire, others disgusted by the confrontation. Richard Kingsley finally stepped forward, his voice dripping with condescension, attempting to assert control over the narrative. But Maya, her head held high, met his gaze without flinching, her calm yet piercing stare silently challenging him. Ethan, fully aware of the stakes, reminded Kingsley of the pending billion-dollar deal, his tone firm, leaving no room for arrogance. The tension in the air thickened as cameras flashed, capturing every detail of the incident for social media and the press. Richard's confidence wavered as whispers of scandal spread. Maya straightened, her dignity intact, and with a subtle nod to Ethan and Sophia, signaled that she would not be humiliated nor silenced. The crowd's reactions shifted as awe replaced derision. Richard Kingsley's arrogance met its first real challenge that evening. Ethan quietly guided Maya toward the side of the pool, ensuring her safety while subtly asserting his power. Sophia moved closer, whispering words of support that reminded Maya she was not alone. The gala attendees, now divided between shock, admiration, and envy, could not ignore the ripple effect of a woman standing firm against public humiliation. Maya's elegant composure and unshakable confidence forced everyone to reconsider their assumptions. The whispers of admiration and speculation spreading through the crowd hinted at the impact this moment would have beyond the gala. Ethan's protective hand remained on Maya's arm, a silent promise that they faced the world together, while Richard Kingsley, visibly unsettled, realized that his public display of arrogance had backfired. The billion-dollar deal now hung in a delicate balance, and Maya, serene yet determined, had turned a moment meant for shame into a powerful statement of resilience and authority. Sophia captured every detail, knowing that this evidence could amplify Maya's triumph, the scene ending with murmurs of awe, some applause, and the first cracks in Richard Kingsley's carefully constructed arrogance. A lesson forming in real time about respect, dignity, and the consequences of underestimating strength and character. This was only the beginning of Maya's silent but undeniable victory, leaving everyone watching with a mixture of shock and deep admiration, a moment destined to be remembered. Maya Thompson's heart still raced as she straightened her soaked gown, the gala lights reflecting off the pool water and casting long shadows across the marble floor, yet her elegance remained untouched. Eyes locked on Richard Kingsley, who now stood rigid, his earlier smirk replaced by a barely concealed irritation. Ethan Thompson, sensing the tension could erupt further, moved strategically to stand between Maya and Kingsley, his posture radiating authority and warning that any further disrespect would carry consequences. Sophia Lane discreetly shifted closer, capturing videos and photos with her phone. Knowing that the evidence of Maya's grace and Kingsley's arrogance could go viral, the crowd buzzed with whispers, some impressed by Maya's poise, others shocked that a woman, and a black woman at that, could confront such audacity with dignity. Richard Kingsley cleared his throat, attempting to regain control, his voice laced with condescension as he announced his version of the incident. But his words faltered under the weight of the room's shifting attention. Ethan's calm but firm correction of every misstatement left Kingsley flustered. Murmurs of approval rippled through the attendees, who began to question the billionaire's judgment and character. Maya, fully aware of her influence, lifted her chin and spoke, her voice soft but commanding, addressing the gathering with a reminder of dignity, respect, and the importance of fairness even in elite circles. The room went silent, all eyes on her, as she subtly reminded them that true power is measured not by arrogance, but by integrity and composure. Sophia's eyes glistened with admiration, seeing a young woman turn humiliation into a display of undeniable strength. Ethan leaned closer, whispering encouragement to Maya while also signaling that their business deal, once threatened by Kingsley's arrogance, could now shift in their favor if handled wisely. The gala attendees, divided between envy, shock, and awe, realized that the evening was no longer about opulence or status, but about a lesson in character and resilience. Richard Kingsley, growing increasingly desperate to save face, attempted a half-hearted apology that landed poorly, only amplifying the contrast between his shallow arrogance and Maya's grounded confidence. Whispers of her dignity spread, cameras captured every moment, and social media notifications began to spike as Sophia discreetly shared live snippets. The incident quickly becoming a symbol of respect, empowerment, and the consequences of underestimating anyone based on race or appearance. Ethan's protective presence remained unwavering, Maya's calm authority inspired awe, and the crowd's perception shifted from judgment to admiration, the billionaire's veneer of superiority finally cracking under the combined force of composure, intellect, and quiet power. Every subtle glance, every whispered comment, and every stunned silence served as a reminder that dignity cannot be drowned, arrogance cannot intimidate, and respect is earned, not assumed, leaving all present with a moment they would remember and discuss long after the gala lights dimmed. A moment proving that courage, resilience, and quiet strength can turn even public humiliation into a powerful victory that resonates beyond the room. And for Maya Thompson, it was just the beginning of reclaiming not only her respect, but the respect of everyone who witnessed her unshakable grace. Maya Thompson stood by the edge of the pool, water still dripping from her gown. As the gala's atmosphere shifted completely, the once hushed murmurs of judgment now replaced with whispers of awe and respect. Richard Kingsley, the arrogant billionaire, attempted to salvage his pride, but every move he made only highlighted his insecurity. Thompson's calm authority radiated around him, signaling that any further arrogance would not be tolerated. Sophia Lane moved closer, subtly documenting every reaction, knowing this night would be remembered not for the opulence or the money, but for the moment when dignity and intelligence triumphed over prejudice and entitlement. Maya's voice, steady and clear, addressed the crowd, emphasizing that respect is earned through actions and character, not wealth or status, and that racism and humiliation will always fail in the face of calm resilience and self-worth. The gala attendees, many of whom had initially judged her unfairly, now saw the true power of composure and courage. Richard Kingsley, growing increasingly desperate, attempted to interrupt, but Ethan's subtle yet firm hand on his shoulder silenced him instantly, signaling that any further disrespect was unacceptable and that consequences would follow. Maya turned to the audience, her presence commanding yet humble, reminding everyone that appearances can deceive, assumptions can be wrong, and that integrity and perseverance always leave a lasting impression. The whispers grew into conversations, people openly admiring her grace and ability to handle public humiliation with such poise. Sophia discreetly shared snippets on social media, which went viral within minutes, showcasing Maya's calm triumph and Kingsley's faltering arrogance. The story quickly spread, inspiring thousands who witnessed her dignity in action. Ethan, proud yet protective, leaned in to whisper words of encouragement, reaffirming their partnership not only in business but in life. The billionaire's reputation took a subtle but undeniable hit, proving that wealth and arrogance cannot override respect and decency. By the evening's end, the $1 billion deal, previously teetering due to Kingsley's attitude, was reconsidered, this time on fair and equal terms. The gala attendees left with a lesson engraved in their minds. Humility, respect, and character outweigh privilege, prejudice, and wealth every single time. Maya's triumph became a symbol of strength for all who face discrimination, showing that no act of humiliation can define a person, only their response to it does. And as the lights dimmed, Maya, Ethan, and Sophia shared a quiet smile, knowing they had not only reclaimed respect, but had also made a statement that would inspire others. This was a night of victory, dignity, and lessons in humanity, leaving viewers and readers encouraged to stand firm, be resilient, and never underestimate the power of composure and courage. Comment below your thoughts on Maya's inspiring triumph. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of courage, resilience, and justice.